না কে দয়ালো জগত সংসারে তোমা বিনা কে দয়ালো জগত সংসারে পতিত পাবন হেতো তব অবতার পতিত পাবন হেতো তব অবতার মোসম পতিত প্রভু না পাইবে আর মোসম পতিত প্রভু না পাইবে আর আহা প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ প্রেমানন্দ সখী হাহা প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ প্রেমানন্দ সখী কৃপা বলকন কর আমি বড় দুঃখী কৃপা বলকন কর আমি বড় দুঃখী দয়া কর সীতাপতে অদ্বৈত গোসাই দয়া কর সীতাপতে অদ্বৈত গোসাই তবে কৃপা বলে পাই চৈতন্য নিতাই তব কৃপা বলে পাই চৈতন্য নিতাই আসারূপ সনাতন রূপ রঘুনাথ আসারূপ সনাতন ভট্ট যুগ শ্রীদেব প্রভু লোক নাথ ভট্ট যুগ শ্রীদেব প্রভু লোক নাথ দয়া কর শ্রী আচার্য প্রভু শ্রীনিবাস দয়া কর শ্রী আচার্য প্রভু শ্রীনিবাস রামচন্দ্র সঙ্গ মাগে নরোত্তম দাস রামচন্দ্র সঙ্গ মাগে নরোত্তম রামচন্দ্র সঙ্গ মাগে নরোত্তম দাস রামচন্দ্র সঙ্গ মাগে নরোত্তম দাস হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, kara mare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu kara Jashamate Nandana Brajavara Nagara Jashamate Nandana Brajavara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Ranjana Kana Gopui Parana Dhana Madana Mano Hara Gopi Parana Dhana Madana Mano Kaliya Damana Vidhana Kaliya Damana Vidhana Amala Hari Naam Amiya Vilasha Amala Purandara Navina Nagara Vara Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Vara Vamshi Vadana Subhasha Vamshi Vadana Subhasha Rajajana Palana Asur Kolana Sana Rajajana Palana Asur Kolana Sana Nanda Gadhana Rakhwala Nanda Gadhana Rakhwala Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundara Nanda Gopala Sundara Nanda Gopala Jamuna Tata Chara Gopi Vasana Hara Yamuna Tata Chara Gopi Vasana Hara Rasa Rasika Kripamay Rasa Rasika Kripamay Shri Radha Vallava Vrindavana Natavara Shri Radha Vallava Shri Radha Vallava Vrindavana Natavara Shri Radha Vallava Vrindavana Natavara Bhakti Vinodaya Shaya Thakur Bhakti Vinodaya Shaya Jashamati Nandana Brajavaranagar Jashamati Nandana Brajavaranagar Gokula Ranjana Kana Gokula Ranjana Kana That's the Bhagavan song? Okay. এ দুষ্ট হৃদয়ে হায় কাময়াদির পুছায় কঠিনাতে প্রতিষ্ঠা সাথ্য সাদারায় এ দুষ্ট হৃদয়ে হায় কাময়াদিরে পোছায় কঠিনাটি প্রতিষ্ঠা সাথ্য সাদারায় হৃদয় শোধনয়ার কৃষ্ণের বাসনা নৃসিংহ চরণে মোর এই তো কামনা হৃদয় শোধনয়ার কৃষ্ণের বাসনা নৃসিংহ চরণে মোর এই তো কামনা কান্দিয়া নৃসিংহ পদে মাগিব কখন নিরাপদে নবদ্বীপে যুগল ভজন কান্দিয়া নৃসিংহ পদে মাগিব কখন নিরাপদে নবদ্বীপে যুগল ভজন ভয় ভয় পায় যার দর্শনে সে হরে প্রসন্ন হইবে কবে মোরে দয়া করে ভয় ভয় পায় যার দর্শনে সে হরে প্রসন্ন হইবে কবে মোরে দয়া করে যদ্যপি ভীষণ মূর্তি দুষ্ট জীব প্রতি প্রহ্লাদাদি কৃষ্ণ ভক্ত জনে ভদ্রয়তি যদ্যপি ভীষণ মূর্তি দুষ্ট জীব প্রতি প্রহ্লাদাদি কৃষ্ণ ভক্ত কবে বা প্রসন্ন হয়ে সখী বচনে নির্ভয় করিবে মোরয়া কিঞ্চনে কবে বা প্রসন্ন হয়ে সখী বচনে নির্ভয় করিবে মোরয়া কিঞ্চনে সৎসঙ্গে বৈশ হে বৎস শ্রী গৌরাঙ্গ ধামে যুগল ভজন রতে হও নামে সৎসা দেবৈশ হে বৎস শ্রী গৌরাঙ্গ ধামে যুগল ভজন রতি নামে মম ভক্ত কৃপা বলে বিঘ্ন যাবে দূর শুদ্ধ চিত্তে ভজ রাধা কৃষ্ণ রস পুর মম ভক্ত কৃপা বলে বিঘ্ন যাবে দূর শুদ্ধ চিত্তে ভজ রাধা কৃষ্ণ রস পুর এই বলি কবে মোর মস্তক পরে প্রিয়সী চরণ হর্ষে ধরিবে ঈশ্বর এই বলি কবে মোর মস্তক পর প্রিয়সী চরণ হর্ষে ধরিবে ঈশ্বর আমনে জগল প্রেমে সাত্বিক বিকারে ধরায় লুটিব আমি শ্রী সিংহদারে অমনি জগল প্রেমে সাত্বিক বিকারে ধরায় লুটিব আমি শ্রী সিংহদারে এ দুষ্ট হৃদয়ে হায় কাময়াদি রিপুছায় কোটিনাটি প্রতিষ্ঠা সাক্ষ্য সাদারায় এ দুষ্ট হৃদয়ে হায় কাময়াদি রিপুছায় কোটিনাটি প্রতিষ্ঠা সাক্ষ্য সাদারায় হৃদয় সধনয়ার কৃষ্ণের বাসনা নৃসিংহ চরণে মোর এই তো কামনা হৃদয় সধনয়ার কৃষ্ণের বাসনা নৃসিংহ চরণে মোর এই তো কামনা। জয় বিষ্ণুপাদ পরমহংস পরিব্রাজক আচার্য অষ্টোত্তর শত কৃষ্ণ কৃপসী মূর্তি ছিল অভয় চরণারবিন্দ ভক্তি বেদান্ত স্বামী মহারাজ ছিল প্রভুপাদ কি ইস্কন বিবিটি সংস্থাপক আচার্য ছিল প্রভুপাদ কি জয় বিষ্ণুপাদ পরমহংস পরিব্রাজক আচার্য অষ্টোত্তর শত কৃষ্ণ কৃপসী মূর্তি ছিল ভক্তি সিদ্ধান্ত সরস্বতী ঠাকুর মহারাজ প্রভুপাদ কি জয় বিষ্ণুপাদ পরমহংস সাক্ষাৎ বৈরাগ্য মূর্তি ছিল গৌর কিশোরদাস বাবাজি মহারাজ কি জয় বিষ্ণুপাদ পরমহংস সচ্চিদানন্দ ছিল ভক্তি বিনোদ ঠাকুর কি জয় বিষ্ণুপাদ পরমহংস বৈষ্ণব সার্বভৌম ছিল জগন্নাথ দাস বাবাজি মহারাজ কি ব্রহ্ম মধ্য গৌরীয় সম্প্রদায় আচার্য পরম্পরা কি অনন্ত কোটি বৈষ্ণব বৃন্দ কি নামাচার্য ছিল হরিদাস ঠাকুর কি Shri Rup, Shri Sanatan, Shri Jeev, Shri Gopal Bhatta, Shri Raghunath Das, Shri Raghunath Bhatta, Sara Goswami Prabhu ki Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kundu Radha Kundu Giriraj Govardhan ki Shri Vrindavan Mathura Dham ki Shri Mayapur Navadip Dham ki Shri Purushottam Khetra Jagannath Puri Dham ki Shri Gangamai Jamunamai ki Shri Bhakti Devi Tulasi Devi Vrinda Devi ki Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Harinam Sankirtan Maha Mahayagya ki Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Siman Mahaprabhu Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Panchatattva Acharya Parampara Shringar Arati ki Arati Tamshukankari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Nitai Gaur Shri Tarat Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All grace to the national devotees. All grace to the national devotees. All grace to the national devotees. All grace to Shri Guru and Guru Guru Krishna. Namo Vishnu Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna. Vishnu Krishna Namaste Saraswati. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome to ISKCON of Silicon Valley Saturday morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. We have less stand up today because yesterday there was, the culmination of Kartik month. So many devotees came to the temple. And also many devotees are performing different austerities. So yeah, anyways, but Krishna Katha and Krishna Kirtan should go on continuously. It should not be subject to any external situation. Or, it should not look for any auspicious moment that, anywhere, anytime you start speaking about Krishna, singing about Krishna, that becomes auspicious, right? And if it is not done, then it becomes inauspicious, that is told in the Shastra. Aradhana Hari tapasas tapaskim. Na aradhana Hari tapasa tapaskim. Like if you worship the Supreme Lord Hari, then what is need of actually doing any austerity? But if you are not worshipping Lord Hari, then what is need of actually doing any austerity? So, in conclusion, and that is another also the extension of this verse says, Antar bahir yo Hari, yo tapasas tapaskim, na antar bahir yo Hari, so na tapasas tapaskim. Means like the person who's he's internally and externally in connection with Hari, for him what is the austerity? Then nothing, no need of austerity. And those person who is externally and internally not connected to Hari, what is the need of austerity for him? So it's beautiful actually, because that's why Yukta Vairagya, the principle of Yukta Vairagya is so beautiful. So we'll sing a song. It's called Kave Habe Heno Dashama, written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one of my very favorite song, because this song is actually Lalashamai Prarthana. So there are different types of Prarthana. One is called Bigyapti Shuchak Prarthana, means like you give advertisement. That, oh my Lord, I am in this situation. Another one is Dainyatma Bodhika. Means like you feel like, oh, I am so wretched, oh down, I don't have any qualification. So please, uplift me. And this is Lalasamai, like you ask for a specific service. Ask for a specific, place. Ask for a specific way to do your bhajan. So this is kind of in that category. I don't know whether they put it like that. Yeah, I don't know. Some of the songs are actually specifically designated as Lalasamai Prarthana, especially Narottam Das Thakur's songs. Because he has Prema Bhakti Chandrika. If you read Prema Bhakti Chandrika, most of the songs are actually Lalasamai songs. There are esoteric songs. We sing about them less. Actually, we are not qualified to sing even those songs. So this song, written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, is saying, Kabe habe heno dashamar, tyaji jadoash bibido bandhano, chhadibo sangsara ghor. When that kind of situation I will achieve, that kind of condition or phase. Dasha is actually phase also. In physics, if you know phase, there are phase of different, physical elements. Tyaji jadoash, I renouncing all kind of material attachment. Bibido bandhana, different types of connections. Chhadibo sangsara ghor, I will renounce this samsara ghora. Ghora means like there's delirium. Vrindavana avede navaddipo dhame badhibo kutiro khani sochiro nandano charano ashrayo koribo sambandho mani. So he's telling, I will build my heart in Navadip Dham, which is non-different from Sri Vrindavan Dham. And I will take shelter of Sochiro Nandan. That will be my eternal relationship. Koribo Sambandho Mani. I will take shelter, not only just, I am taking official shelter. It's like heart-to-heart connection. I feel like I have a sambandha. I have a connection with the Sachiranandan, the son of Sachi. Jannovi Puline Chinmayo Kanone Boshia Bijano Sthale Krishna Namamrito Nirantaro Pibo Dakibo Gourango Bole. On the bank of Jannavi means Ganges. Mother Ganges is also known as Jannavi because she came from the thigh, of Jannumuni. You know that, right? He drank whole the Ganga and then he produced it from his. So that's why that Muni is. That's why she's known as Jannavi also. Jannavi Puline means like on the bank of in the forest on the bank of Ganges. Chinmaya Karane, the forest is actually Chinmaya. Chinmaya means full of knowledge. Hare Krishna. Jai Jai Shri Radha Madan Mansiman Mahaprabhu Sri Lakshmi Narasimha Sri Panchatattva Bhagavan ki Jai. So, and Bashya Vijana Sthale, I will be sitting in a secluded place. Krishna Namamrito Nirantaro Pibo Dakibo Gourango Bole. I will drink the nectar of Krishna's name and I will shout or I will call out the name of Gauranga. Our Guru Maharaj actually shouts very loudly Gauranga's name. Ha Gaur Nitai, Tora Duti Bhai, Potito Janero Bandhu, Adhomo Potito Ami He Durjano, How More Kripa Sindhu. Here he is becoming very close. When you call someone Torah, that means you are very close. Without any awe and reverence. You feel like, oh, he is my friend, he is my, parent. Sometimes even in Bengal, some places, mother is also called Tui. They call mother also Tu. Okay, so Ha Gauranitai, oh Gauranitai, you are two brothers. You are the friend of all the fallen conditioned souls. Adhoma patito ami he durjano. I am very, very fallen and very wretched, very, miscreants. Please be the ocean of mercy towards me. How more a kripa sindhu. Become ocean of mercy towards me. Go down, Mataji. Kandite, kandite, yes. Kandite, kandite, sholo krosho dhamo, jannobi uvayo kule, bhromite, bhromite, kobu bhaggo fale, dekhi kuchu toru mule. So how many miles is Navadip Dham? Anybody knows? 16 crores, right? 32 miles. And how many miles is Navadip Vrindavan Dham? 84 crores, it's big. 84 crores means like you have to multiply it by 2. So 168, right? 168 miles, yeah. Around, actually, it's not exactly match. So he's telling, I will roam around both sides of Jannavi, means like Ganges, while crying and chanting the name of the Lord. Because this is the jurisdiction of Dham, even though Dham is out of jurisdiction. And while I am traversing like in this manner, while crying, having ecstatic symptom, by my good fortune, I can see something special. I can see Lord Chaitanya's, personal pastimes, or Radha Krishna's pastimes in front of me. And then what will be my expression? Haha monohar ki dekhinu ami, bolia murchito hobo, sombido paiya kandibo gopone, sori duhu kripalavo. And I will exclaim, oh, what kind of, a special scene I have seen. What I have seen. And I will faint. Because if you've seen something which is beyond your bodily level consciousness, you cannot hold it for long. You will faint. Ramananda Roy even failed. Ramananda Roy is not an ordinary devotee. He is 3.5 devotees were most internal devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Among them was one Ramananda Rai. Ramananda Rai, Sarv Damodar Goswami, Sikhi Mahiti, and Madhavi Devi. Anyway, so he could not even hold that Mahaprabhu's form, Radha Lingita Vigraha, Radha Krishna together. Anyway, so he will also faint. And then he's saying, Sambhito Paya Kandibo Gopena. When I become conscious again, when I come to consciousness, I will cry in seclusion. I don't want to reveal it to everyone. And I will be grateful by remembering your kripa, your special mercy. Because without mercy of Krishna and Lord Chaitanya and Guru, you cannot have any spiritual experience. You can fake it, but cannot make it. Okay, so let's sing that. I don't know, I have not sang this song for a long time, so let's see if it comes properly. Kabe habe no dasha mor, kabe habe no dasha, kabe habe no dasha mor, kabe habe no dasha, tyaji jarayat Meveda bandhana chadiba samsara khora tyaji jaraya meveda bandhana chadiba samsara khora kabe habe no nasamor kabe habe no dasa Kabe habe no dasha mor, kabe habe no dasha. Vrindavana bhede Navadip dhame Madhiva kutira khani. Vrindavana bhede নবদ্বীপ ধামে বাঁধিব কুটির খানি সচির নন্দন চরণ আশ্রয় সচির নন্দন চরণ আশ্রয় করিব সম্বন্ধ মানি সচির নন্দন চরণ আশ্রয় করিব সম্বন্ধ মানি কবে হবে না দশাম কবে হবে না দশাম কবে হবে না দশাম কবে হবে না দশাম জানবে পুলিনে চিন্ময় কাননে বসিয়া বিজন স্থলে জানবে পুলিনে চিন্ময় কাননে বসিয়া বিজন স্থলে কৃষ্ণ নামামৃত নিরন্তর পিব কৃষ্ণ নামামৃত নিরন্তর পিব ডাকিব গৌরাঙ্গ বলে কৃষ্ণ নামামৃত নিরন্তর পিব ডাকিব গৌরাঙ্গ বলে কবে হবে ন দশা হবে ন দশা কবে হবে ন দশা হবে ন দশা গৌরীতাই তোরা দুটি ভাই পতিত জনের বন্ধু গৌরীতাই তোরা দুটি ভাই পতিত জনের বন্ধু অধম পতিত আমি হে দুর্জন অধম পতিত আমি হে দুর্জন অমরে কৃপা সিন্ধু অধম পতিত আমি হে দুর্জন অমরে কৃপা সিন্ধু কবে হবে ন দশা হবে ন দশা কাঁদিতে কাঁদিতে ষোলো ক্রোশ ধাম জাহ্নবীর ভয় তুলে কাঁদিতে কাঁদিতে ষোলো ক্রোশ ধাম জাহ্নবীর ভয় তুলে ভ্রমিতে ভ্রমিতে কবু ভাগ্য ফলে ভ্রমিতে ভ্রমিতে কবু ভাগ্য ফলে দেখি কুছু তরু মূলে ভ্রমিতে ভ্রমিতে কবু ভাগ্য ফলে দেখি কুছু তরু মূলে কবে হবে ন দশা হবে ন দশা মনোহর কি দেখিনু আমি বলিয়া মূর্ছিত হব মনোহর কি দেখিনু আমি বলিয়া মূর্ছিত হব সম্বিত পাইয়া কান্দিব গোপনে সম্বিত পাইয়া কাঁদিব গোপনে সহুদী কৃপা লাভ সম্বিত পাইয়া কাঁদিব গোপনে স্মরি দুহু কৃপা লাভ কবে হবে ন দশা abhena dasa mor, abhena dasa mor. Tyaji jarayas vivida bandhana, chadiva samsara ghara. Tyaji jarayas vivida bandhana, chadiva samsara ghara. Kabhe abhena dasa abhena dasa mor, kabhe abhena dasa mor, abhena dasa mor. So when you actually sing this Acharya song, it reveals a spiritual world to us. It is actually genuine ecstasy of the Acharyas when they write this song. It's not like they're showing their poetical prowess. It's not like that. So when somebody feels that connection with the Acharyas while singing that song, they really can, get the mercy of the Acharya and also can align with the mood of that song. It's a very special song actually. It's very, very esoteric, very powerful song. And while singing devotees, I remember when I heard this song for the first time, it was in 2014 in Mayapur Yatra. We went there and we were in Jagannath Temple, in New Rajapur Jagannath Temple. And some devotees, group of devotees, Gaudiya devotees, they came there and they started singing in front of the Lord. Now, I did not have any recorder. I had a very simple mobile phone. I did not take my smartphone there. I kept it because I was not sure that whether it will be safe. And I could not record it. But the tune, the emotion of the devotees who were singing, it actually touched my heart. So I kept on resounding it while I was coming back from Rajapur to Mayapur main campus. And somehow or other it stuck in my heart. I feel connected to this song. In fact, it feels like really something what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying. That should be prayer of all of our devotees. Hare Krishna. So now let's speak something about Srimad Bhagavatam. I think you already had a lot of Gaura Chandrika. So Gaura Chandrika means a lot of preface, before you go to something. So, but these are all Bhagavata. So Bhagavad Katha means two things. One is talks about Bhagavat and talks about those who realize Bhagavat. That is been Bhagavan. So these both kathas are correct. So what we actually sang, that is also Bhagavad Katha. It's non-different. In fact, I was thinking initially that I will give a class based on only songs. Then I thought, no, it will be too much. Maybe some other time. And also I'm not a very professional singer. And we need some, devotees who can actually play any tune, every tune. So that arrangement is not there. But sometime maybe, because that's a different test. It's not like philosophy, but philosophy inside that sweetness, Rasgulla. Rasgulla also gives you satisfaction, nourishment, and it also takes out your hunger, right? So that is the interesting part about bhajans and kirtans. So we just completed Kartik month. And Kartik, many devotees, Damodar Kartik, many devotees go to Dham, right? Because 5 things are very important in devotional service. 5 things, right? Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, Mathura Vasha, Sri Murtiro Shraddhaya Shravan, right? So among the 5 things, what are the things we are doing on a daily basis? I want to ask the devotees. On a daily basis, what we do? The 5 things we are doing, right? 5 things I mentioned. Sadhu Sangha, association of the devotees, that we give the English. Nama Kirtan, chanting of the holy name. Mathura Vash, living in a holy place. Bhagavat Shravan, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And Sri Murtiro Shraddhaya Shravan, worshipping the Lord with awe and reverence. So among these 5, What are our daily practices? Yes, Malay Prabhu.
No, I think we are doing all of them.
Excellent point. Yes, we all of them we do, but the degree is different. Maybe we focus more on chanting and some other things we do less, because even those who are not having a like deity at their home, when they cook something, they offer it to Lord. That's worship. Patrang pushpam phalam toyam yome bhakta prayachati, right? So you offer everything to Krishna. Then you come to temple. Or you make your home as a temple. Is it dham or not? It's dham. Jedino grihe bhajano dekhi, grihete goloko bhai. Yesterday we were hearing, right? Anukullas sankalpam. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing. The day I hear bhajan doesn't mean like only kirtan. Bhajan means somebody is doing devotional service, leading Bhagavatam or chanting. Whenever he experiences it is in his home, he feels like it is Golok Vrindavan, this home. That means it becomes a dham. So we live in dham. Of course, we hear Bhagavatam. We read Bhagavatam. We hear from Srila Prabhupada. We hear from other senior Vaishnavas. That's also Bhagavad Shravan. And Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha sometimes direct, sometimes indirect. Like you came here in the temple, you are having live Sadhu Sangha experience. But sometimes you indirectly you hear acharyas, you read their commentaries. That's also sadhu sangha, but indirect. Sometimes you cannot ask them questions, but somehow or other your questions get answered when you are sincerely seeking for the questions answered. That's an interesting point. And then of course Harinam Kirtan. That's our prime practice. All the practices we do is meant to get our attachment to Harinam, to chant it in a manner so that we become elevated in consciousness. But it doesn't mean that we don't want to do the other things. We will do other things in a manner so that our chanting gets improved. And it also, it doesnent say that once you are in the topmost platform you leave everything. We don't see it. In Vrindavan you go, main Gauriya temples, the deities they have, they are worshipped personally by the acharyas. Like, go to Radha Damodar temple, Jiva Goswami worship their deities. There are actually 3 pairs of deities, right? Anybody can say? Maybe 4 pairs, actually 4 pairs. Yes, 4 pairs, right? Radha Madhav, Jayadev Goswami's deities. Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's deities. And Radha Chail Chikkan, Srila Bhugar Goswami deities. Like these 3 personalities. And of course, Jiva Goswami's deity, Radha Damodar is also there. And then you go to Radharaman temple, you see also Radharamanji, right? He was worshipped by Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami himself. And then Rupa Goswami's Radha Govind, Radha Madan Mohan, Srila Sanatan Goswami's, Radha Gopinath Madhu Pandit. All Acharya's deities, they worshipped. It didn't say, like they didn't say, oh, I am like a Namsiddha Pava. I live worship. No. They kept on, doing their service to the deities. And deity also reciprocated in that manner. And of course, Bhagavad Shravan, every single day, 6 Goswami would sit together and they hear Bhagavatam. Can anybody tell who used to recite Bhagavatam among the 6 Goswamis on a daily basis? Yes, Prabhuji. Ramananda Saka Prabhu, our
Raghunath Das Goswami.
Yeah, Raghunath Das Goswami and also Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. So Raghunath Bhatt Goswami was a trained Sanskrit scholar because he was brought in, actually I don't know whether he was born in Varanasi Kasi also, but at least brought up in Varanasi Kasi. And Kashi, is the place of Sanskrit, place of knowledge. Kashi is not place of bhakti, it's actually place of moksha, knowledge. So, he got actually all 6 branches of knowledge. And later on, Srila Jiva Goswami also followed his footsteps and he also got all 6 Vedantic knowledge, like all 6 streams of Vedic knowledge. Anyway, so, he could recite any verse of Srimad Bhagavatam in 4, 5, 6 tunes. So all the 6 Goswamis, they would be mesmerized to hear Bhagavatam recitation from him. They did not need translation. Literally, they did not need translation. They are so scholarly, each of them, that they can make out multiple meaning of each of the phrases. Like our His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj. He doesn't need actually Bhagavatam translation. When he reads Bhagavatam, he can actually, the meanings gets revealed in front of him and he can expand it. Anyway, so they didn't need it. So what they used to hear, like, Melifluous voice, Raghunath Bhatt Goswami's, and his skill of reciting Bhagavatam with, full devotion. So he would recite on a daily basis among this, among the 6 Goswamis. And of course, most of our 6 Goswamis, they used to chant 128 rounds, 2 lakhs names. I cannot confirm about all of them, but at least I know 4 of them used to do that, 128 rounds. Maybe Jiva Goswami, I don't know, I don't want to comment, but because he had to write so many scriptures, I don't know. But other 4 used to do 128 rounds on a daily basis. Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, and Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. Yes. Yeah. So this was their daily norm. And they were residing in Sri Vrindavan Dham, which is Mathura. So now my question is, like, a lot of devotees are going to Sri Vrindavan, or went to Sri Vrindavan during Kartik time. They had a blissful experience, and many of us could not get an opportunity to go there. So now how we actually get that kind of, spiritual experiences by not going there? Is it possible to get that kind of experience also, not going in the Dham, but having the Dhama experience? I want to hear from you. Anything comes in your mind. It's an open class. I can speak, but I want to hear some of the devotees' realization also.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I don't have a citation, but
Yasho. Hold on. Yogadhish Prabhu. Prabhu. Yes.
I vaguely recall there being a verse that describes how you can have the Dham is in one's own mind, essentially. It's about your mood, your attitude, your intention in what you do. Then based on that, you can be in Dham. And you can be here and be having similar practices without actually physically being there if your mind is in the right place.
Excellent point. I want to hear more. Feel free to share.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. I would have done the same thing. Even though you are physically present in one place, it's not necessarily that I am entirely present here. So by my mind, I can reach somewhere if I am in connection, or I am reading something, or I am talking to someone, or we are discussing about someone at a dham.
Excellent.
Or any pastime. So that way, if I close my eyes, I still feel like I'm staying there.
Very nice. Anybody else wants to share what it means by living in Dham and like not able to enter into Dham, but how can we actually have that kind of experience? Raman Sakha is constantly having that experience, so you can. Yes, Prabhuji.
I also don't have any scriptural reference, but
Yes.
I've heard in lectures that when you go to Dham, the purpose is to hear from the sadhus in the Dham. So I think that even if you are unable to go, if you are hearing from the sadhus who have, realizations of the Dham, then you are also in the Dham.
Yes, thank you. So in general, if we get a chance, we should be able to make some preparation to go to Dham. It's not that we should actually become neglectful about it. If we have an opportunity, we should actually give our best effort to go there. Why? Because Lord's eternal pastimes happen there, and very exalted devotees, they perform their devotional services in that place. So it doesn't go away. It remains in the ether. The consciousness remains in the ether. So when you enter the Dham in a mood of service, under the shelter of a spiritual master and the senior Vaishnavas, you will see there is a subtle consciousness, change happening in your heart. But along with that, we also carry our contamination, right? We cannot just, as soon as we enter Dham, it's not a different body. It's the same body, mind is there. So that contamination can be also detrimental to enter into the Dham in reality. So, okay, let's ask another question. So, if we say like Goloka Vrindavan and the Vauma Vrindavan we see in Uttar Pradesh, India, what are the differences between these two? Is there any difference, first of all? And if there is any difference, what are the difference? Yeah. Anybody can speak. Or Hare Krishna, Malli Mataji. No, Mataji is not speaking, I think. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Hare. Dandavat Mataji.
Since this English Prabhupada. Sorry, Prabhu. I had a comment previously. I think I was raising my hand earlier. So earlier that you asked what does it mean by living in Dham? I think I mentioned this comment earlier also, but this is what I heard from Her Grace Kalasudha Mataji. She was being told by His Grace Jananivas Prabhu. He mentioned that staying in Dham actually is a state of your consciousness. So he mentioned that if you are thinking of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always, and in the holy Dham of Sridham Mayapur, it doesn't matter which part of the world that you live in, you actually are in the Dham. So he mentioned that. So he told her to carry that in her heart and to remember always the Supreme Lord as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then she will be in Mayapur all the time. So that remained with me for many years, and I always think about that instruction. So that was one I wanted to share.
Thank you, Mataji. Actually, Mataji gave the conclusion of the class. We are actually going, but yeah, we'll go gradually there. Okay. Okay. So anyway, let's come to the question I asked. Is there a difference between Bhoma Vrindavan and Goloka Vrindavan? If I ask that question, or if there is any difference, what are the differences?
Hare Krishna. I would think it would be the transcendence. So first one is transcendental abode, and then other one is it has transcendence, but it still has a physical presence. So once it is physical, it also has the physical contamination, particularly the environment around there, like the sthana, kala, patra, and due to time, at least the Kali Yuga. So it has, because the physical thing is there, but then it still has the transcendence. So those who are receptive to transcendence, they can have the transcendental experience, versus those who do not have that much perceptive power, they will be seeing everything else as well.
Excellent. Anyone else wants to share anything? Yes, Ramananda Sakha Prabhuji.
I am saying from my memory, let's see if I'm able to recall correctly or not. Certain pastimes, they only happen in the earthly realm of the Vrindavan, things like in birth of Krishna and childhood pastimes. So those pastimes don't happen in the Goloka Vrindavan.
Very, very apt point. Means like if you consider one difference, the difference is that the pastimes in Bhoma Vrindavan is sweeter, because it has Krishna's all types of lila, killing of the demons, and also the facing of adverse effect of some family members. They don't really exist in Goloka Vrindavan. There is a mood, there is an impression that the demon is coming, we need to get prepared. They are fearful, but that doesn't happen. There is no bloodshedding in Goloka Vrindavan. But in Bhoma Vrindavan, you see all 5 major rasas along with 7 secondary rasas, right? That Karunya, Raudra, Hasya, Bhayanaka, Vibhatsa, Ityadi, those secondary rasas, they also get manifested in the Bhoma Vrindavan. Anyway, so that is one, and you mentioned actually, that's a very good point, that the Bhoma Vrindavan is a veil. Not everybody can see the opulence of Bhoma Vrindavan. They don't see, like even Lord Chaitanya's most intimate associate who traveled with Mahaprabhu, who was cooking for him on a daily basis, on every single day, he also become entangled by the illusory energy sometimes. Like Balabhadra Bhattacharya, he thought, people are seeing Krishna in Yamuna these days. I also want to go at night. Mahaprabhu was in Mathura at that time. He said, I don't think you need to go, but if you want to go, you go. Mahaprabhu, he doesn't want to interfere with the free will. That's the nature of the Supreme Lord. He doesn't want to interfere with your free will. In my presence, if you think like, okay, Krishna is manifesting pastimes and I am not aware of it, what to speak about that? So he went there and he saw, oh, Krishna is dancing on top of Kaliya. And then, few days later, one devotee came from Vrindavan to Mathura, and Mahaprabhu asked, did you see also Krishna? Balbhadra Bhattacharya, he saw. Did you see also? He said, no, Prabhu, there was no Krishna. There was a fisherman. He was fishing at night with a lamp, and the boat looked like a hood of a snake, big snake. And when he was moving here and there because of fishing, it looked like he's dancing. You see, this is the illusory effect. So that's why when you enter into that dham, you should be under the shelter of a very powerful Vaishnavas, especially the Dhambhasis, or those who are, in conscious living, as Mataji mentioned, living in dham. Okay, Malini Mataji has something to share. Mataji, please. Sorry, I didn't notice.
Sorry, Prabhu, I was just, sorry, that hand was for the other question that you asked. What is the difference? I think you already covered.
No, you tell me, Mataji, still, yeah. If you have something.
Oh, the same thing, Prabhu, as you mentioned, that the Bhauma Vrindavan, it's unmanifest at times and manifest at other times. And as you mentioned, after Krishna left this planet, that dham is still there, but it is unmanifest. And the pastimes are still going on, but it's unmanifest to our normal eyes. But only those devotees who are pure, who they can see that Leela still happening today, which is, as you mentioned, it's a curtain, so we can't see it. So, and Bhauma Vrindavan is actually more special than Goloka Vrindavan, because here the living entities, even those who are not qualified, can get an opportunity to see the pastimes of the Lord or hear about the pastimes of the Lord even after he leaves, so that we can remember and qualify ourselves to actually go to the Goloka Vrindavan.
Excellent point. I was actually coming to that point also. Mataji is reading my mind ahead of time. Actually, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Gopinath, tumi kripa paravar. You are actually an ocean of mercy. Jiviro kripaye, ashiya prapanche, lila koile suvistar. To give the mercy to the fallen conditioned living entities, you expanded your pastimes so that they get attracted. Krishna, all attractive, hypothetically anybody can say. But how he is all attractive, that is, the prime example is coming in Srimad Bhagavatam, all through the acharyas who can see his pastimes also in Bhauma Vrindavan and also in his spiritual Vrindavan, because it gets manifested in your heart. So that's why people, especially those who are conditioned by illusory energy, they need some reference point. It's all like Ramayana Mahabharata is just like epic, all hypothetical. Vyasa was a big poet, so he wrote it. But when we say that, you see that this is the pastime place, this is the place what they are talking, this is the statue, this is the mandir they're talking about, then people have a visceral experience. Yeah. So that's a very good point. But also, and another point, as dham can be actually understood through the ear, not through the eyes. If somebody wants to see dham, that's a wrong conception. That tad bhakti yoga paribhavito rit saroja asa se sute kshete nanunat pumsham yad yad vibhavati gaya yad yad urugaya gatha vivavayanti tat tat pranaya brapuse sadanugrahaya sute ikshito. Lord Brahma actually praying it to Lord Vishnu. And then he's saying that Tyad Bhakti Yoga Paribhavito Rit Saroja, that in the lotus of your heart, that Bhakti Bhav will manifest by process of hearing. Sute Ikshita Nanunatha Pumsam, like those who are realized soul, when you hear from them, then only it gets manifest. It's not like, come from out of nowhere. Even though bhakti is ahituki, but there is also a hetu. Hetu is that you give priority or you hear from someone and then you get the faith. And then sadhu sangha bhajana kriya it comes. So that Shruta Ikshita is so important that like many devotees went with Vaisheshika Maharaj, right? They are not visiting a lot of places. They maybe stay standard in one place in Govardhan and just chanting and hearing. They are getting the special original mercy of the Dham. In Dham, whatever devotional service you do in the association of devotees, it gets multiplied 1,000 times. Opposite also true. Any aparadh you do, 1,000 times result. That's why not everybody is allowed to enter and reside in Dham, right? We should be very, very, very careful because our eyes, our senses are not trained to stay in that kind of consciousness, continuous consciousness. So this is the difference. Or is there is no difference, but there is still apparent some difference. Like Bhomodham is more merciful, and anybody can enter there, and the ether is accessible even to the conditioned soul also, where our previous acharyas, they perform their devotional services. Now, if I question Bhomodham in Vrindavan, in Uttar Pradesh, and we have Sri ISKCON of Silicon Valley, Shri Radha Madan Mohanji Mahaprabhu, Sri Lakshmi Narasimha, Panchadatta, daily worshipped here in the presence of the acharyas. Is there any difference between that dham and this dham in ISKCON of Silicon Valley? Vaisheshika Maharaj spoke about it also. Anybody can, Malay Prabhu, go ahead.
Hare Krishna. I think to me this is a representation or replica of the Vrindavan, and this is more accessible to me, so this is more useful to me.
Excellent point. Excellent. Anyone else wants to share anything? Okay, yes. Like it's an embassy. You go to US embassy. Any countries, you see that, Arrowhead water. There's US signature, consumer products. The arrangement and everything is like US. You will see the software system, even if you work with computer, you will see that everything is same everywhere in all foreign, embassies of US. Or for that matter, any country. And they have a flag. And that specific place is a US inside a different country. It's not owned by that country. You cannot attack a US embassy or anything. If that happens, that country is doomed actually. Because it's humans you are attacking US in general. So this ISV, ISKCON of Silicon Valley, is a manifestation of Sri Vrindavan Dham. But there is still a difference. Can anybody tell what is the difference between Sri Vrindavan Dham and ISKCON of Silicon Valley? Is there any difference first of all, or I am telling something out of my concoctions? Yes, Prabhuji, Raman Sagababu.
So one difference is that the original dham doesn't move. It stays at the same place. But this dham, embassy can move from place to place.
Very, very practical example. I was also about to say in the same line. I used to say, I was thinking if Radha Madan Mohan goes to a different place, that becomes dham. We don't worship because they were in Bascom Avenue. We don't go to that place anymore. That even though the ether is still purified, but still, we don't go there. But Vrindavan, irrespective of if there is no temple also, that will be still dham. No temple. Like in Mahaprabhu's time, only few, right? Only Srinathji's temple was there. And in some of the temples were in Mathura. Vrindavan, it was like a complete, village, idyllic setup. Right now, you cannot match it up. But still it was dham. It was holy place. And Mahaprabhu, there was a small pond. He discovered that this is Radha Kund. So, that is the special mercy of dham that is eternally present. It's like sometimes it gets also unmanifested because Krishna, sometimes when the religious principles got subdued, then dham also gets unmanifested. But then again he manifested. So it is eternally present. Like Navadvip dham. It's not that Mahaprabhu came and that became a dham. It's not. It has been there for ages. Ages. If you read Navadvip Dham Mahatya, which is written by Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad, who never, there was no account that he visited Navadvip. There is no account. But he wrote about the Mahatya of Navadvip. And then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wrote about Vrindavan Mahimamrita. There is no account that Bhaktivinoda Thakur visited Vrindavan. But he glorified Sri Vrindavan Dham. So this is something, it's esoteric, that how somebody without visiting, as Mataji mentioned, that, the consciousness. Anyway, so now, so there is difference and there is no difference. Now, this dham or this temple, so in the dham, what is happening? The eternal lila of the Supreme Lord is happening, right? Eternally. Some people can see it, those who are purified, whose consciousness is completely purified. Some people cannot see it because it's covered. Their consciousness is covered. They only see darts, monkey, dogs, everywhere, like people and people and people. Too much crowd. But those who can see, they can see the real sweetness and opulence of Dham. So when we are in the temple also, our main goal is to make an arrangement, Dham-like arrangement for their lordships, deities, so that they can enact their eternal pastimes here. They are doing it, but we want them to do it in a way so that the devotees can experience it. When the deities are worshipped very, like with awe, reverence, and with all the rules, and with love and affection, you will see that the overall aggregated consciousness of that particular area, it gets affected. It gets, higher. And when the deities are neglected, sometimes the deities can say, oh, I will unmanifest now. It happened, right? It happened? Like Krishna's deities were carved by Vajra, right? And all the deities got unmanifested. Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govinda and Radha Gopinath. All of them, Srinathji, all of them got unmanifested. Why? Because they were not able to take care of the deities properly. And then the deities chose the devotees that, oh, this is my pure devotee. He can actually re-establish my worship. So let him come and, take me. Anyway, so that's the goal of Dham in a temple, that we want to create an atmosphere where Radha and Krishna, Mahaprabhu, they can enact their eternal pastimes and help the devotees experience it. It cannot be experienced. Now, there are different levels of knowledge, or different types of knowledge in this world. I won't say material world, because some of the knowledge are not material knowledge. So it's I will say that in the universe there are different types of knowledge. First, some types of knowledge are pratyaksha. You do, you learn. You see, you learn. You experience through your senses. You test, you learn. And then you learn it, right? You gather the information. Oh, this is hot, this is cold. This smells like jasmine. This smells like chandan. Like you train your senses, right? By experiencing different objects of the nature. So that is pratyaksha. And it is even the lower category animals, living entities, they have also experience of that. Right? Those tiryak yoni, like, cats, dogs, tigers, lions, they have experiences of. In fact, some of the senses are very strong. Like dog, they can smell very far away and they can match their smell. Like, they're trained to do that sometimes also. Then some birds, they can hear from far away. Like the bats, they can hear from far away. So that kind of special sensual capabilities they have, and they gather knowledge by the senses. And human being, of course, they also do. Then there is also knowledge called paraksha, indirect. Pratyaksha is direct, and then paraksha is indirect. How you know it? By the experience of others, whom you feel like, oh, this person is knowledgeable, this person is respectful, this person is a well-wisher of me. When he is or she is saying something, I should listen to it. Because they already experienced. Or you can see, like, we don't know, like, whether I will die. But we know also that I will die, right? Because we have seen everyone who took birth, they died. So in that way, I can experience, even though I don't have personal experience of dying in this body, maybe previously thousands of bodies, millions of bodies, but not in this body. So that is called paraksha. So you need some direct experience, or sometimes like instructions by someone to give you some knowledge. Like especially, there are some knowledges in the world which you cannot learn by yourself. Like if you want to learn, some people can maybe because of their previous, impression of previous births. But mostly, like if you want to learn in musical instrument, you need someone to teach you, to point out these are the mistakes. Or language. You cannot just hear a language and you can learn it. There should be some teacher, instructor who can actually guide you. So this is the paraksha category. Then there is a knowledge called aparaksha. So first is pratyaksha, direct. Then paraksha, indirect. And then is aparaksha. So it is actually non-indirect. The English translation is non-indirect. Not direct, non-indirect. They are two different things, by the way. And Sanskrit is a very, very expansive, very complicated, language. They are manda and amanda are not same thing. Manda means bad. Amanda doesn't mean bad. Amanda means opposite of bad. Upasarga. It means opposite, the highest auspiciousness, Prishte Brahmad Amanda Mandaragiri. Like Lord Tortoise. Anyways, Kurma Avatar. So, an Amanda word is used in many places in Shastra. So, this aparaksha, it means a knowledge which is beyond your normal consciousness. You cannot get that knowledge in your general consciousness. Only in deep sleep, in Ghumanta, swapna, you see sometimes, like, you see impression in swapna, dream, you see something. Sometimes you say, oh, this may have happened with me before. Deja vu, huh? You feel like sometimes, right? You see something in the dream, say, oh, what I have seen in the dream. You cannot recollect everything, but it gives you a subtle understanding, something may happen good or bad, or some omen it gives you, right? So that is aparaksha knowledge. That is deeper. That comes from your subtle consciousness, your mind, intelligence, and soul. Sometimes soul directs. Those who actually read Samudra Shastra. There is a Shastra called Samudra Shastra. That I don't know how it is called in English. Yeah, ocean literature. So it talks about a lot of occult things. How to read your face, how to read your palm, how to calculate when you will die, how to actually identify the symptoms, how will you die. It actually gives the knowledge about those things. So how these things comes? Of course, it's coming from also maybe disciplic succession, but also sometimes it gets revealed. Some people may not know that knowledge, but it gets revealed to them. Deep people, like, that's why some people are thoughtful, like, Socrates, he was thoughtful. One day, the famous pastimes of Socrates, he was thinking. So his wife came and asked, like, what you are doing? So I'm thinking. Well, that's nothing. Then he put water on top of him. And he did not react at all. And his disciples got disturbed that, our spiritual master, our teacher got, water from his wife. So he said, like, it's okay. I'm still thinking. I'm in my job. It doesn't disturb me. If I try to react, then my job will be interrupted. So those who are very high consciousness, they think deep. And from that deep thing, something they cannot understand by their own knowledge, so it gets revealed by the Paramatma, the Super Soul. So that is the aparaksha knowledge. It's very high level. It's not like pratyakhan paraksha, not like direct instruction. Like, E is equal to mc square, hypothetically you understand. But how it happens, that will come through aparaksha knowledge. Like, the elongation of time, the shrinkage, the increase of mass, etc. Yeah, shrinking of length, etc. Anyway, so this is aparaksha. But beyond this aparaksha knowledge, there is a knowledge called adakshaja knowledge. Adha akshaja. So if you know the Sanskrit alphabet, what is the first alphabet in Sanskrit? First alphabet? Yes. And what is the last alphabet of Sanskrit? It's for Nitai Prabhu. Last alphabet of Sanskrit, last Varnamala. How do you culminate? Ka, kha, ga, gha, and then what is the last one? Sha, right? Sha. Yes. So, adha akshaja. A and Sha, they are in between. Adha, Aksha, Aja. That means which is beyond A and Sha. Anything in between A and Sha, it cannot explain what that knowledge is. It is beyond that. And that's why Krishna is called Adakshaja Vastu. It cannot be explained with any letter, any alphabet, any material knowledge. He cannot be explained. Yeah? That Yatho Bhaktir Adakshaja. Ahoituki apratihata yanatma su prasidati. Yatma su prasidati. Savai pungsa paro dharma. Anyway, so says Akshaja Gyan. Sorry, Akshaja Gyan, the sensual Gyan, knowledge, we can do from Prataksha, direct, Aprataksha, indirect, or Paraksha, indirect, and then Apratyaksha, non-indirect form, like, this subtle consciousness also gives us direction. But Adakshaja Gyan, it should definitely come from a realized soul, a spiritual master. And the subject matter of Adakshaja Vastu is to understand how this spiritual existence is an energy of the Lord, and we have a relationship with the owner of this energy. Sorry, it's the material existence, not a spiritual existence. The material existence is a part of the Supreme Lord. And how we can serve that source. Because the function of this hand is to serve this body, right? Especially the mouth. I'd do some work so that we can get some grains to eat. Grain is not enough. Maybe you have to buy some mobile phone. But ultimately to give satisfaction to the body. But if that doesn't do, then what is the use of this hand? Similarly, we are the part and parcel, maybe infinitesimal part of the Lord. Our job is to give satisfaction to the source, which is the Supreme Lord. So, Adakshaja Gyan, it gives you an idea of how to do that. It's nothing related to this material world. So that's why the sadhana bhakti, what we do, it's the Adakshaja Gyan, spiritual knowledge coming from the disciplic succession, from an authorized spiritual master. He gives you the direction, how to perform devotional service, how to be a devotee, how to become eligible to serve the Lord. That's why this knowledge, it cannot be like learned by reading a book or by watching a cinema or even sometimes going to any material university. You cannot learn this knowledge. You need a personal guide, a spiritual master who can see beyond this material purview. Okay, so that's why it's very, very esoteric. Sometimes it's called Turiya Vastu. So there are 3 stages one person can achieve. One is Jagrata, awaken, right? Second is Ghumanta, sleeping. Then is Sushupti. Sushupti is deep sleep. Deep sleep, somber. You are like completely oblivious, like maybe some people, I don't know, I should not comment because I don't have experience, but those who go in coma, they have deep sleep experience sometimes. They come back, what's happening? So they have a different experience there. And then Turiya, the 4th stage. So this 4th stage, Turiya, which Lord Krishna speaks to Uddhava in 11th canto, very vividly. That's experienced by this knowledge, Adakshaja knowledge. You cannot experience, other 3 you can, as I mentioned, Sushupti and Ghumanta you can. Sapna actually, Sapna. So, this Turiya knowledge comes through the disciplic succession. And if you are fortunate enough to get connected, you get this knowledge. It doesn't mean that, this should be like exactly same, like all Vaishnava school don't follow the same details, but their fundamental understanding is same. That, the Supreme Lord is Krishna or Lord Vishnu, and we have a relationship with Him, and we need to establish that relationship, eternal relationship, and serve in that relationship. That is the fundamental aspect. But the details are, of course, different. But beyond this Adakshaja thing also, there is another level. That is the level of Sri Vrindavan. Okay. Let me find the name. Okay, that's called Aprakrita. This word you heard many times, right? Aprakrita. Transcendental. Srila Prabhupada used that word. Actually, there is no English word which can translate this. So, You see that another beauty of Sanskrit, Pakrito is like complete materialistic. That's why the word Pakrita Sahajya comes, right? Pakrita Sahajya, materialistic, easygoing devotee, or simplifying devotees. When you put Aprakrita, it becomes completely opposite. There's those devotees who are not in the material realm. They are already residing in the spiritual realm. And they are having a relationship in that realm. And that's why Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he once told actually that we are also Sahajya. Somebody was telling that, oh, this Sahajya is doing this, that. And he said like, no, we are also Sahajya. But we are not Prakrita Sahajya, we are Aprakrita Sahajya. Because our devotional service is very straightforward. Krishna is the Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. As he is the source of everything, he is the cause of everything, we need to actually serve him. That's our simple. And we serve him under the direction of Srimati Radharani, Ashri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and our Guru Varga. Like that. It's very simple. So you don't have to lead like so many Upanishads, so many Vedanta scripture. Not like that. That is already done by Srila Jiva Goswami. You just follow him. Okay, so that's very simplistic, understanding of devotional service in Gaudiya philosophy. So that's why he's saying Sahajya. We are Sahajya, but we are Aprakrita Sahajya. Now, this Aprakrita knowledge gives you an idea to see everything in relationship to Krishna. You see that the prasadam you eat or the food you eat, this is actually coming from the lips of Krishna. That's why when you honor that prasadam, we honor prasadam, we don't eat it. It becomes ecstatic. By honoring prasadam, one can go to Krishna's loka, planet. You don't need anything. Just you need to have that faith that it is honored, it is blessed by Krishna. Krishna actually accepted this bhoga. So then when you honor it, you go to got it. When this is the concept of Yukta Vairagya. When you use a perfume, give it to Krishna and you smell it through Krishna. Or give some chandan and then after smearing it in Krishna's body, you use it. So everything can be used in Krishna's service. That is called Aprakrita level. That's not Prakrita level. Prakrita, sometimes both are Prakrita. One, those who take everything very easily. Okay, Krishna did this thing, I also can do it. I am his devotee, right? No, you cannot do it. One pastime is there in Vrindavan. One time, one Mataji, she was a prostitute by profession. So she got some bhoga. And then the Pandit, the Mohant, he did not accept. He said, no. I don't want to accept. How you actually earned your Lakshmi, we don't know. We don't want to accept it. Then that Mataji was very disappointed. She had a genuine heart to serve Lord. Then Krishna came in the dream. The deity came in the dream of the Mohant and told him, right? Why you did not ask? He, with so much love and affection, she came to offer the bhoga. Please ask her to bring bhoga next day. Then the Mohant actually called her and told actually, you bring bhoga. Lord wanted to accept your bhoga. And then that lady, she brought bhoga. It was offered to Krishna. And then Krishna honored it. Krishna accepted it. And then the Mohant and other devotees, they honored prasadam. But after prasadam, they felt a different type of, feelings. Like their senses were very strong. They are hankering for some sense enjoyment. They said why Lord? You're always living in a pure life. Then Lord said, very interesting thing. Said I can digest anything and everything. You can't. You can't. So that's why that subtle consciousness, it comes through the offering and everything. So that's why we have to be sometimes also very careful. I think in some of the temples, they don't accept anonymous donation also. They don't know where the donation is coming from. So anyway, this Aprakrita, you engage everything in Krishna's service. That's higher level. Even then Adakshaja Vastu. Adakshaja Vastu, you know about Krishna, the Sambandha Gyan, know about the subject matter. But Aprakrita, you implement it. That is the Avidya and Prayajana both together. And when you are in that level, you see that everything is actually connected to Krishna. Just like, the 15th chapter, first verse, Urdhamulam Ado Shakham Ashuttam Prahurabhyayam Chandam Siyasya Paranani Yastam Veda Savedavid. So, it is an like flipped tree, this material world. But it's also a tree, right? It's actually, the reflection is there because the original tree, the spiritual tree is there. Now, if you consider the reflection tree, what is the lower modes of nature in the material world? What is the lower mode of nature? Okay, modes of nature, right? 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What is the lower mode of material nature? Tamagun, yes, the mode of ignorance. It says the mode of ignorance. Tama means andhakar. There are different levels of tama also. In Bhagavatam 3rd chapter, 3rd canto actually it explains. So, this is tamagun, and there are different, very downgraded tama also. As you go down in planetary systems, you get more experience of tamagun, different types of tamagun. So that tamagun is predominant here. I mean, I don't say like it depends on the yuga also. In Kali Yuga at least predominant yuga mood is tamagun. And then higher than that is rajagun. Then higher than that is satyagun, right? And then beyond satyagun, you go Visuddha Sattva or Vasudev Sattva. Right? And now we are seeing that this tree, original tree's reflection is the material world. So if something in the top, in the original tree, what will be in this material world? It's bottom, right? It will be also in the top? No. The roots are merged. But the top things is bottom. And bottom thing is top. So when you actually cross the Sattvagun level, material level, to the spiritual level, first what you encounter? Suddha Sattva. But beyond Suddha Sattva is actually Suddha Raja. Even though this term is not found, I never found it, but that mood is there. The devotee wants to always satisfy Lord. That's a propensity that you are not satisfied by serving Him. That is Rajagun actually. Is it not Rajagun? Why Srila Prabhupada established so many temples? He could have 5 temples, I'm good. Like some of his god brothers, they established 5 temples. They said okay, we can return now. And he kept on running. It's Rajagun because he's not satisfied. But that's higher than even Shuddha Sattva, I'm satisfied. That's higher.
Prabhupada also, he desired for that landowner of Juhu.
Yes.
The landowner of Juhu, he desired him to ultimately he desired him to, Lord, take him away. That is also tamagun, but it actually is sattvagun. So his desire was sattvic, but the way was, so yeah.
Yes, correct. So sometimes we don't understand it. Maybe our Rajagun can come into surface. That's why this kind of mood, like Satyagun in general, Suddha Sattva, you can cultivate by practicing devotional service moods and everything. But the Rajagun and the beyond that, you need guidance of expert devotees who are already connected to Krishna, who knows actually what is the most pleasing thing for Krishna. You and me may not know. Okay, so that's why it should not be like that haphazardly. Like sometimes we say okay, time, place and circumstances. That is a dangerous subject matter. Yeah.
Like spiritual master will be angry sometimes, many times.
Yes.
Chastise very heavily.
Yes.
That can sometimes can maybe physically also you may do.
Correct.
But that is actually sattvic.
That's Suddha Sattva. Yeah, it's very high level. That's Rajagun. Even sometimes we see apparent anomaly of the devotees also, right? That's what I actually discussed long back in one of the classes. That Api said Duchur Sudurachara verse. Bhajate mam ananya bhak. So there's somebody who is already performing devotional service with undeviated mind. How can he does durachari activities, heinous activities? It's not possible. You are undeviated, your mind is completely fixed on devotional service. You cannot do something wrong. So there is a very special explanation given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur on that verse. Anyway, so that is Suddha Raja. Even though that term is not used, so I should not use it because Acharyas did not get. But that mood is there. That you have to satisfy Krishna, you have to satisfy Guru Maharaj. And you are not satisfied. Oh, I have done enough. Srila Prabhupada did not stop. Kept on pushing. Go. 2 months, Chaitanya Charitamrita, published. 17 volumes. There should be a book about that, publication of Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's completely like people are not sleeping. 24-hour shift. 8 hours. The painters like Dhriti Mataji, Yadurani Mataji kept on drawing day and night. Anyway, but beyond that is also Tamagun is also there in the spiritual world. How? All Brajavasis, especially the gopis, they are actually talked about that they are the devotees of Tamagun. How? Because they don't want to accept Krishna as the Supreme Lord. Even though they know it. In Gopi Gita, we actually read that verse, right? Nakalu gopi kan nandana bhayat akhila dehinam antaratmadrik. Oh, we know that you are not the son of Nanda. You are the super soul of everyone. We know that. But we don't want to consider that. It's in the background. We want to forget it. Forgetfulness is the nature of indolence, forgetfulness, contemplation. These are the nature of, not contemplation is a higher mode, but in lower mid, that's the nature of tamogun, intoxicated. The gopis have all these characteristics. They're always intoxicated in Krishna's prem. They're always forgetful about Krishna's opulence. They externally they feel like, they are not behaving properly. Like Lord Chaitanya also. Bilosito bhava videham. Bilosito niravadhi bhava videham, right? His bodily gesture is like he's a madman, intoxicated. And that's our goal also, right? Ebang brata sapriya nama kirta jata anurago druto chitta uchchai hassai tatharoditi roti gayati unmadavan nrittati lokavaya. I will be completely oblivion of the external situation, and we will sometimes cry, sometimes laugh, and we will dance like a madman. Madness is the lowest of consciousness in this material world, because there is no in and out. Nothing is processed. Just something is coming in your mind. You are just exhibiting that. That's madness. The spiritual world is also like that. That highest madness is experienced by Brajavasis. So that is called aprakrita. It's there in the material world, but that awe is absent. You don't have understanding how this is connected to Krishna, how this can be used for Krishna. When you are in that stage, you can use your dust. The gopis use their foot dust for Krishna service. It's not like half a day. They did not consider where we'll go. So that's the topmost level of consciousness, and that is the consciousness of Sri Vrindavan Dham. That exclusive consciousness of Sri Vrindavan Dham. In other places, this consciousness is there, but it's not so predominant, so clear, so lucid. But when you enter Sri Vrindavan Dham, that should be the consciousness, that you see everything in relation to Krishna and everything is meant to serve Him. It's not like, we don't know sometimes actually how to connect. That's why the expert guidance of the spiritual master is so important. Like your job can be a big, devotional service. Like we know Jayananda Prabhu. He was a taxi driver. Srila Prabhupada did not say. He was doing literally day and night service. There, my Guru Maharaj, when he also joined in Montreal temple, he was the pujari, he was the donation collector, and also he was an employee. He was also working in a bar or something, in a restaurant, to get some Lakshmi, to maintain the temple. So, this is not so easy. But that's how the expert spiritual master engages you in your service. And then you understand what is aprakrita vastu, the taste of that aprakrita nature in the prakrita world. And that's the Vrindavan consciousness, as Mataji mentioned. So there, the Vrindavan is so exclusive, so a special place. Then in whole Krishna Lila, you don't see anyone entering Vrindavan and staying there. Means like some people came, like some demons came, Akrura came, Uddhava came. But have they stayed there? Anybody has stayed in Vrindavan? after coming to Vrindavan? None. Nada. Zero. 3 people left, Lord Krishna, Balaram and Rohini. I used to miss Rohini, and then Anirudh Nityanand Prabhu said on one time that actually Rohini was also there in Vrindavan, so she also left to Dwarka. But none of them left also, other than these 3 personalities, right? None of them left. So what is there? Everybody wants to be with Krishna. But in Vrindavan, there is no Krishna after Krishna left. But is that true? It's not true. Vrindavanam parityajam ek padam na gacchati. Krishna never lives one step outside Vrindavan. The Krishna you see who is living outside Vrindavan, that's Mathura Krishna. And who is going to Dwaraka as a king, first prince, then the king, Dwaraka Krishna. But that's not the Krishna of Vrindavan. Nandanandan Krishna is different personality. That's why Lord Krishna said, when Ballavacharya asked that question, the Lord, I gave a special meaning. I found a special meaning of Harinam. And Lord Chaitanya completely rejected that. He said, Nandanandana Krishna, Jasharathanandana Krishna, Sheto Amar Prāṇa. I only know one meaning of Krishna's name, that the son of Nanda, son of Yashoda, is my life and soul. So that is the mode of Vrindavan. There is no other meaning, no other thing predominant there. It's all about Krishna's sweet relationship with his devotees. He's not a king there. He's just like a Lala. He's my, premik, my beloved. And that sweetness is so attractive that these Vrajavasis, when they met in Kurukshetra, they were not satisfied. They said, no, we don't feel, that famous verses, right? Kelan Madhuri Murali Panchama Jushe. What is that? Priyo Sohoyam Krishna Sahachari Kurukshetra Milesa Saeva Radha Tadimo Bhayo Sangama Sukhe Madhuro Mirali Panchama Jushe Mono Me Kalindi Pulino Bipinaye. Anyways, and then the 2 verses actually. Anyway, so that is the mood of Vrindavan. It's so exclusive that once you enter there, you won't actually consider any place worthy of consideration. So special. Because Brajavasis, they have some exclusive. Brajavasi Krishna Prati Shabhavik Priti, Gopala Shabhavik Priti Brajavasi Prati. Krishna, Brajavasis, all the Vrindavan Vasis, they have natural attraction, spontaneous love towards Krishna. And Krishna has also spontaneous love towards them. That's why they don't want to live there. And that's why Srimati Radharani, I will actually conclude in this, with this thought that when Lord Chaitanya was dancing in front of Sri Jagannath and he expressed his inner heart in front of the devotees, not many devotees could understand it. Only few devotees, Sarup Damodar Goswami, Srila Ramananda Rai, Srila Rupa Goswami, they could understand what Mahaprabhu is actually speaking. So he actually spoke this verse. Ane hriday mon, mono moro brindavan, mone bone eko kori jani. তাহা তোমার পদদয় করহ যদি উদয় তবে তোমার পূর্ণ কৃপা মানে তবে তোমার পূর্ণ কৃপা মানে. So it is saying, for people in general, their mind and heart are same. Hriday and mon are same. Like we don't differentiate between them, right? But Srimati Radharani, this is actually Srimati Radharani's mood. Moro mono Vrindavan, but my mind is actually Vrindavan. I don't consider my mind my own. My mind is actually Vrindavan. What is happening in Vrindavan and what is Vrindavan consciousness, that's my mind. Taha tomar pododoy korho jodi uday tobe tomar purno kripa mani. If you manifest your lotus feet in that mind or that place, both actually, your mind in your heart or in Vrindavan, then I will consider your full kripa, full mercy. And such a esoteric verse and such a powerful verse, which culminates living in Dham. So this subject matter. It is not actually a place. It's aligning your heart or your consciousness with the mood of that place. You can live in Dham, in any place, like His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. He came from Ujjain to US. Just He knew actually he was leaving his body. People want to go to Vrindavan, but then when they are leaving their body, they think of everything but Krishna. Everything but Krishna consciousness or Vrindavan consciousness. That's why we have to also be very concerned that who will be surrounding us during our leaving the body. We should have some kind of devotees, very close devotees who are elevated in consciousness, and make sure that we don't forget. Even if we forget, they will remind us. Also Krishna can remind us, also Guru can remind us, but in general. So he came here and he left his body. But hasn't he actually left with a Vrindavan consciousness? Of course he did. So this is the Vrindavan consciousness. When you go, and that's why I will end with a beautiful pastimes of Srila Prabhupada. One time Srila Prabhupada, I think this is the second or third visit of Srila Prabhupada Vrindavan after he came to US, and he took some of his disciples, and there was a young devotee, means like everybody was young, but he was a relatively new devotee. So he went to Vrindavan, he said, "Oh, this is like Los Angeles, California, warm, sunny." Prabhupada said, "Yes, everywhere you go, you see California." And then one devotee, little bit senior, he said, "Yes, Prabhupada, everywhere you go, you see Vrindavan. You don't see, actually, you are far from Vrindavan." And that also, another, I will just add one thing. Srila Prabhupada was establishing temple in Sri Mayapur Dham. And some of his god brother actually complained that why he is not visiting his spiritual master Samadhi. Why? Usually you take blessings, you visit, But yeah, there was some tension. So Prabhupada didn't visit. So Prabhupada, commented that, I don't see that, my Guru Maharaj is away from me. I feel his presence always with me. He's always there with me. Wherever I go, I see his blessings, his mercy upon me. So I don't have to exclusively visit like Lord Shiva doesn't have to exclusively pay obeisances to Daksha Pitamaha, because he's always paying obeisances to Lord Vasudeva, Krishna or Vishnu. So he doesn't have to. So this is the Vrindavan consciousness which we are trying to develop. Once we actually, by the mercy of the previous acharyas, actually it's so difficult to get that consciousness. You can get, Krishna can give you liberation very easily. But Krishna is so strong with the devotees to not get them, chance to enter into Sri Vrindavan. He is very, very strong. But there is one concession for us, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you approach Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then you can enter into the pastimes of Sri Vrindavan Dham. What is that? Narottam Das Thakur sings. Also, of course, yatha gaura padara vinde vindate mukti kitapinno rasi tatha utsarpati ridyakasmat radha padam bhujo sudhambu rasi. Means like, as much as your heart is engaged in service to Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet, so much you can experience the nectar which is coming from the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, the nectarian, devotional love. And in Vrindavan, everywhere is the lotus footprint of Srimati Radharani, because Radha and Krishna's pastimes are eternally happening there. But we don't see it. But how we can see it? So Gaudiya Vaishnavas are saying that by looking at the Radharani's devotees who are really serving Srimati Radharani, when you look at them, you really see that, the footprint of Srimati Radharani on top of them, which even Lord Krishna aspires for. I should not say this subject matters, but this is exclusivity of Gaudiya Vaishnava's mood of worshipping Sri Vrindavan Dham. That even though we don't have qualification, but that become our qualification because of worshipping Gaur Nitai, who are the most munificent. Anyways, I will conclude my session here. If anybody has, we have 5 minutes, right? 5 minutes, Mataji? Yeah, we have 5 minutes because we have next special speaker ready. If you have any comment or question, sorry I dragged it so much.
Once one Vaishnava Acharya from Vrindavan was recounting about one devotee. He was more of a yogi, came from Himalayas. He stayed in the ashram. He said, Here, everyone, after some observation, is that everyone is eating malpua and, pudi and all this. Sab bhogi is, all bhogis are here. I will not stay here. This is not proper place for me. I will go to Himalaya somewhere. He said, I'm leaving. Okay. And then, so he left, and then he was somewhere in Ramanreti somewhere. And then he was going somewhere else. One Babaji says, hey, come here. Come here. So when you he says, when you do worship of Sitaram, so do you, when, they had, Lakshman had also gone with them? Yeah. So why don't you worship Lakshman also? So actually, basically, he gave him some tips. And that was actually happening. He was doing Mansi Seva of Sitaram. From somewhere else. He was sitting somewhere else. And while passing somewhere, so basically what he concluded was, this Babaji is so siddh that he's able to observe my Mansi Seva sitting from somewhere else. He was blown out of his mind, like, oh my God, this Vrindavan Dham is the bhumi of siddhas. All the siddhas are here. So then he came back. Said, no, I will stay here.
Jai.
I have so much to learn from here.
Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. So this kind of things, the esoteric things, sometimes you feel like, okay, the Vaishnavas, they don't have any yogic power. But like many Vaishnavas, even though they don't have to show, sometimes Rasikananda and other Vaishnavas, they showed their yogic power, which even mesmerized the topmost yogis, that how they could do like Rasikananda initiated one elephant. I forgot his name. Yeah, so he started chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra day and night. Anyways, anyone else wants to share anything? Yes, Yogadish Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. I had a couple of questions.
Yes.
First, you described the first verse from the 15th chapter, the reflection of the tree, and then the actual version of the tree. And you described how what's the bottom of the reflection is actually the topmost of the spiritual. I just wanted to make sure I understood that the difference between going from the spiritual, like the mode of ignorance and mode of passion in the reflection versus the actual tree, the difference is the relationship one has, that one maintains mentally in their consciousness to Krishna. That's like the differentiating factor?
I won't say that maintain, I will say develop. One develops, because it's not like you can artificially maintain it. It will gradually develop. But it develops by the mercy of the Acharya Vaishnavas. That Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavitamati, that Ramananda Rai speaks that what, right? Kiyatang yadikuto bilabhyate. Tatram lullam api mullamekalam. You have to have the greed, and then the mercy will come, and then both will actually elevate or develop your consciousness. And then you will be situated in that consciousness. Like somebody who is Krishna's devotee. He will be more attracted to hear Krishna's pastimes. We see Journey Home book, Radhanath Maharaj mentions about it, right? Those Bhajananandi Ram devotees were speaking same pastimes of Krishna again and again to him, because they don't want to speak something, because they could identify he is a Krishna devotee. So it happens, you get more attracted to a specific Leela or a specific form of the Lord, and then you develop the consciousness.
One more, it's okay?
Yes.
Earlier you were describing how you give the example of Radha Madan Mohan, where first you described how what's the difference between our local ISV temple versus maybe Vrindavan in Bhoma Vrindavan, the one on this planet. And so you mentioned how we're kind of like an embassy here. But then if Radha Madan Mohan Ji were moved somewhere else and they were worshipped, then they would also move. It's a movable embassy, I guess.
Correct.
So is having Radha Madan Mohan Ji, like having them here and worshipped with a certain standard, with certain rules, is that what makes this a dham, specifically that worship and that deity worship?
It's not only worshipping them, also the presence of the devotees. If Lord is actually left alone and the very exalted devotees are not worshipping him, in fact, the Lord stays as long as the powerful devotees are actually serving him, as I mentioned also, right? So if some powerful devotees are here, Vaishaka Maharaj and other Maharajas, they come, they worship the Lord, that's how we stay here. Because we keep on committing, offenses here and there. So he may get dejected and he may leave our service. But when they come and they actually observe our, mistakes also, And that's how Lord stays here. So that's why it's very important that in any congregation there should be powerful devotees who are very sincere in serving the Lord. Then the Lord will stay and He will actually expand His pastimes. Yeah. Okay. Any last comment? We are over time actually. Yeah. Okay. So I'll conclude here our session. So thank you everyone who joined. So I ask for forgiveness if I have spoken something which is not the teachings of our acharyas, and definitely I have spoken a lot of things which I don't have any understanding, but just I wanted to speak it so that I have some flavor of residing in Dham, especially in Kartik month. But we just concluded Kartik, but yeah, still we can speak about it. Thank you everyone. Now we will have that Bhagavatam presentation. Arna, yes, Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatara vyasya kripa sindhubheva cha.
Thank you so much, Koladwip Prāṇa Prabhu. Always such an honor to hear a very deep knowledge about transcendental subject matters, and it's especially relishable when it comes from you, especially the topic of Vrindavan. Today I'd like to introduce our next speaker, which is from our Kaishora ISV youth. She is Arna, and she's been with our class for almost a year and a half now. So welcome, Arna. And we will today be talking on a topic from the Ramayana, when all good counsel fails. So, yes.
Hare Krishna everyone, my name is Hare Krishna. I'm going to talk about when all good counsels fail. This is set in Ramayana. So this starts with Ravana when he sees Sita in the forest with Ram, and he has the desire. And he has the desire to have Sita in his life, so he tries to abduct her. So he goes to his uncle Maricha, and then he asks him how to abduct her. But Maricha tells him to not abduct her, and he tells how Ram is powerful and he should just leave Sita with Ram. But Ravana still has less desires and he does not want to leave Sita with Ram. So he tells Maricha that he wants to kidnap her and take her to his garden. So then he tells Maricha to become into a deer to attract Sita, and then he will turn into a sage. And then they abduct her. So this shows us how we can also get deceived in our life by people who try to disguise us. Then while Sita is being taken into the chariot of Ravan, Jatayu, an eagle who is follower of Ram, sees Sita in the chariot of Ram and of Ravan and wonders why is Sita there, and he tries to get Sita back to Ram, but Ravan cuts his wings, so he falls back to the ground and he cannot save Ravan or save Sita. So this shows us how Jatayu was very brave and a good follower, and he was very loyal to Lord Ram. But it also shows how how he tried to save Sita. So he also tried to warn Ravan to not abduct Sita and just politely leave Sita back. but Ravan doesn't listen. He takes Sita to his garden. So then, when Ravan takes Sita to his garden, there Vibhishan, his younger brother, sees that Sita is there, and he tells to leave Sita back to the forest and leave her with Ram. But Ram doesn't listen to Vibhishan, and he ignores all his advices. And Vibhishan leaves Ravan, leaves Ravan, and he leaves the kingdom and goes to Lord Ram, which shows up how he rejected the evil and goes to the pure side. He also tells how Ram is all-powerful. So after Ravan says that he does not want to leave Sita alone, it shows how he has a lot of pride and ego and how it can be very destructive. The path to Ram. So Vibhishan goes to Lord Ram, and there he gets made fun of by Hanuman because Vibhishan was a Rakshas. So this shows how Lord Ram after that tells Vibhishan that I will protect you, I will protect anyone who is under my shelter. This shows how Lord Ram is very kind, very forgiving, and he is he accepts everyone. Then Vibhishan tells how if Ravan is not willing to ask for forgiveness, and Lord Rama says if he asks forgiveness, I will definitely forgive him. So it shows how Ram is very willing to forgive, but Ravan is not willing to seek forgiveness. Then comes the battle of Ram and Ravan. So it happens in Lanka, where Ram reaches Lanka, and then there Lord Rama meets Ravan, and there the battle happens. So there too Sita is there, and the fight happens, and it shows that the good versus evil, because Ram is good and Ravan is evil. Eventually Ravan dies. It shows that our own ego can be very destructive to us. So Ravan also ignored a lot of good counsels in his life, which was very sad, because he ignored everyone who was giving him good advice. And then even his wife told him to not do this and give Sita back, but he didn't listen. So the conclusion was that a lot of people like Hanuman, Maricha, Vibhishan, a lot of them tried to help Ravan and told him to give Sita back, but he didn't listen. So it tells that how our own pride is very destructive in our own life, and we should be willing to fall under the God's feet, because it's the supreme. So there is a quote from the book that I really liked. It was, "Unfortunate are those who don't have good advice, but even more unfortunate are those who have good advice, but they are not willing to listen to it." So this shows how Ravan was not listening to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Arna. That was a good summary of how the life of Prāṇa becomes an example for all of us to, pay attention, right, when we get good advice. Okay, any questions, comments, or reflections from the audience?
Thank you, Arna, for beautiful presentation. I like the way you brought so many pastimes and connected with one topic, that the listening or hearing what others say. Interestingly, all these personalities, they are very shrewd, they are intelligent, they are regarded high in the social position, including Hanuman. But Ravan was unable to accept their, instructions or advice. So this is very important. But I have a question to you also. Like sometimes also in our life also, we get instructions, but we feel like, okay, this person may not be in the stage of my guru, and he is speaking something, may not be, he is speaking from a lower position. So how we actually can get rid of that consciousness? We can actually accept people's instructions based on the value of the instruction rather than the position from where they are speaking.
So even I get advice from my friends, and sometimes I do not listen to them. But I feel like when we have trust in them, I will slowly start to listen to whatever instructions they give. Because if I know some instructions are good for me and some are like not good for me. So if I have that sense of right and wrong, I can see that what advice I should listen to.
Very nice. That means you say like you listen to other people, those who are not in the guru level, but you use your discretion, your understanding, your intelligence to identify what you should accept and what you should reject. Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Sometimes we may not have the right intelligence to accept the right counsel or even distinguish it. Why is that?
Because we are not like, sometimes we just use our intelligence, which is not nice, because if everyone is telling us the same thing, like in Ravan's life, everyone was telling him the same thing to return. If everyone is saying the same thing, then I think we should take it as a hint that we should do it, like we should do what everyone's instructing.
That's not the question though.
Oh.
What's the question? The question is why are we not able to distinguish good counsel from bad counsel sometimes?
Because our heart wants to accept what we want to accept. We feel like if this is right for us, we will think from our mind. Like we will not, like we ourselves, our mind will help us, not like our real soul. Like we don't really listen to ourselves.
Does it have anything to do with which mode of nature we are in?
Yeah, like if you're in God's, then we will know. Like if we're at Supreme Lord's first feet, then we'll know that what we should do.
So Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says that Tamagun, if we are in Tamagun, mode of ignorance, then you actually, your understanding is flipped. Your friend, you will think you are the enemy. Your enemy is actually your friend. So the mode of material nature and what is the consciousness, how evolved we are, that has a big part to play.
Okay, Prabhu.
These are deep questions, so I'm grateful for the questions. And it's good that you are able to answer that, at least from whatever your understanding. Any other questions or comments? Reflections? Thank you so much, Arna. I just want to mention that even though it's Ramayana is a very elaborate story, she was able to put together so many pastimes in one part and also bring about the main crux, that how Ravana was not able to listen. Ravana actually, by some people, he's also regarded as he was born from very high parentage, and still he had all the facilities. He was supposed to be even very well versed in the Vedas, but like we see the examples, even all those things cannot help us when we are overcome by pride. So I just want to mention that Arna is actually coming all the way from Castro Valley to attend Sunday school. So thank you so much, Arna. It's a lot of effort by you and by your parents, Mohit and Monica. So thank you for bringing her, and thank you for all your effort to put together this wonderful presentation this morning.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. We'll now move on to the next part of the program, which is Guru Puja, and request everyone to please put away the mats and the carpet.
नामपि श्रेष्ठं मनु शचिपुत्रमत्र स्वरूपं रूपं तस्याग्रजं मुरुपुरीं माथुरीं गोष्ठवातिं राधाकुण्डं गिरिवरं महो राधिका माधवासां प्राप्तो यस्य प्रतिथा कृपया श्रीगुरुं तं नतोऽस्मि। हे गुरो ज्ञानदीनबन्धो स्वानन्ददातः करुणैकसिन्धो वृन्दावनासीन हितावतार प्रसीद राधा प्रणय प्रचार। हे दीनबन्धो करुणैकसिन्धो कुरु प्रसादं मयि मन्दमूढे लक्षापराधे बहुपापगाधे तत्पादपद्मेस्तु मतिश्च कृष्णे। यद्यपि आमार गुरु चैतन्य दास तथापि जानियामि तान्हार प्रकाश। गुरु कृष्ण रूप हैं शास्त्रे प्रमाणे गुरु रूप कृष्ण कृपा करें भक्तगणे। शिक्षा गुरु के ताजानी कृष्णेर स्वरूप अंतर्यामी भक्त श्रेष्ठ ऐ दुई रूप। नैवोपयन्ति अपिचितं कवयं तवेश ब्रह्मायुषापि कृतं ऋद्धमुदः स्मरन्तः यो अन्तर्बहि तनुभृताम् अशुभं विधुन्वन् आचार चैत्यवपुषा स्वगतिं यनक्ति। Without serving the representative of Krishna, no one can approach Krishna. I bow down to the beautiful lotus feet of my spiritual master, by whose causeless mercy I have obtained the supreme holy name, the divine mantra, the service of the son of Shachi Mata, the association of Srila Swarup Damodar, Rup Goswami and his older brother Sanatan Goswami, the supreme abode of Mathura, the blissful abode of Vrindavan, the divine Radha Kund and Govardhan Hill, and the desire within my heart for the loving service of Sri Radhika and Madhav in Vrindavan. O spiritual master, O giver of divine wisdom, O friend of the fallen, you are the giver of your own bliss, and you are the only ocean of mercy. Although dwelling in Vrindavan, you have descended to the welfare of fallen souls like myself, and you are preaching the divine love of Radha for Krishna. Please be kind upon me. O friend of the lowly, O Gurudev, you are the only ocean of mercy. I am a dull fool and have committed hundreds of thousands of offenses. I have fallen into the dense myriad of sins. Therefore, grace me with your mercy so that my mind may be fixed on your lotus feet and on Sri Krishna. Although I know my spiritual master is a servitor of Sri Chaitanya, I know him also as a plenary manifestation of the Lord. According to the deliberate opinion of all revealed scriptures, the spiritual master is non-different from Krishna. Lord Krishna, in the form of the spiritual master, delivers his devotees. One should know the instructing spiritual master to be the personality of Sri Krishna. Lord Krishna manifests himself as the super soul and as the greatest devotee of the Lord. O my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not express their indebtedness to you, even if they are endowed with the prolonged lifetime of Brahma. For you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as super soul, to deliver the embodied living beings by directing him how to come to you. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. Our only wish is to have our consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is a perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens our darkened eyes and fills our hearts with transcendental knowledge. He is our Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of devotees. O Master, be merciful upon us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. Shri Guru Charana Padma Keval Bhakati Sadma. Bandho moi savadhana mate. Bandho moi savadhana mate. Jahar prasade bhai e bhavatori ayai. Krishna prapti hoy jahan hoy te. Krishna prapti hoy jahan hoy te. Shri Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitte Kori Bo Aikya. আর না করি হো মানে আশা শ্রী গুরু চরণে রতি এই সে উত্তম গতি যে প্রসাদে পুরে সর্ব আশা যে প্রসাদে পুরে সর্ব আশা চক্ষুদান দিল এই জন্মে জন্মে প্রভু সেই চক্ষুদান দিল এই জন্মে জন্মে প্রভু সেই দিব্য জ্ঞান নিদে প্রকাশিত প্রেমে ভক্তি যাহা হইতে অবিদ্যা বিনাশায়তে বিধি গায় আহার চরিত শ্রী গুরু করুণা সিন্ধু অধম জনার বন্ধু শ্রী গুরু করুণা সিন্ধু অধম জনার বন্ধু লোকনা লোকের জীবন লীলা প্রভুপাদ পতিত পাবন हा हा प्रभु कोरो दया देव मोरे पद छाया हा हा प्रभु कोरो दया देव मोहे पद छाया एबे आज घुष त्रिभुवन लीला प्रभुपाद पतित पावन श्रीरा गुरुदेव लोइलो शरण जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे
Amen.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे उदिल अरुण पूरब भागे द्विजमणि गौरामणि जागे उदिल अरुण पूरब भागे मणि जा भक्त समूहा लोहिया साथे गेला नगर ब्राजे गेला ताथाई बाजल खोल घन घन ताहे झाझेरा रोल প্রেমে ঢলা ঢলা সোনার অঙ্গ চরণে নূপুর বাজে मुकुंद माधव यादव हरि बोले ना बोलो रे वदन भोरे मिचे निदवशे गेलो रे राती दिवस शरीर साजे এমন দুর্লভ মানব দেহ পাইয়া কি করো ভাবনা কেহ এবে না ভজিলে যশোদা সুত চরমে পড়িবে লাজে উদিত তাপনা হইলে আস্ত দিন গেল বলি হইবে ব্যস্ত তবে কেন হেবে আলস হয় না ভজ হৃদয় রাজে जीवन अनित्य जन हसा ताहे नाना विध विपद भाज नामश्रय करी जतन तुमी थाक आपन काजे जीवेर कल्याण साधन काम जगत आशिये मधुर नाम जीवेर अविद्याति मेरा तपन रूपे हृदय गगन विराजे कृष्ण नाम सुधा कोरिया पान जुड़ाओ भक्ति विनोद प्राण नाम बिना किछु नहीं को आरो 14 भुवन माझे मधुरम नाम बिना किछु नहीं को आरो 14 भुवन माझे नाम बिना किछु नहीं को आरो 14 भुवन माझे जीव जागो गौरा चांद बोले जीव जागो गौरा चांद बोले कत निद्रयाओ माया पिचाशीर कोले जाओ माया भजी बोलिया ऐसे संसार भजिया बोलिया ऐसे संसार भीतरे भूलिया रोहले तुम्हें अविद्यार भारे भजिया बोलिया ऐसे संसार भीतरे তোমারে লইতে আমি হইনু অবতারা আমি বিনা বন্ধু আর কেছে আছে তোমারা এনেছে नसीबरो लागी हरि नाम महामंत्र लाओ तुम्ही मागी येनेचे स्लो कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे औषधि माया नाची बारो Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Bhakti Re Nada Prabhu चरणे पड़िया भक्ति विनोद प्रभु चरणे पड़िया से मरि नाम मंत्र लैल मागिया से हरि नाम मंत्र लैल मागिया Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai. জয় বিষ্ণুপাদ পরমহংস পরিবাচকাচার্য অষ্টোত্তর শত কৃষ্ণ কৃপা শ্রীমতী ছিল অভয় চরণারবিন্দ ভক্তি বেদান্ত স্বামী মহারাজ শিল প্রভুপাদ কি ইসকন বিবিটি সংস্থাপক আচার্য শিল প্রভুপাদ কি জয় জয় বিষ্ণুপাদ পরমহংস পরিবাচকাচার্য অষ্টোত্তর শত কৃষ্ণ কৃপা শ্রীমতী ছিল ভক্তি সিদ্ধান্ত সরস্বতী ঠাকুর মহারাজ শিল প্রভুপাদ কি জয় বিষ্ণুপাদ পরমহংস সাক্ষাৎ বৈরাগ্য মূর্তি ছিল গৌরকিশোর দাস বাবাজি মহারাজ কি জয় বিষ্ণুপাদ পরমহংস সচ্চিদানন্দ ছিল ভক্তি বিনোদ ঠাকুর কি জয় বিষ্ণুপাদ পরমহংস বৈষ্ণব সার্বভৌম ছিল জগন্নাথ দাস বাবাজি মহারাজ কি ব্রহ্ম মধ্য গৌরীয় সম্প্রদায় আচার্য পরম্পরা কি অনন্ত কোটি বৈষ্ণব বৃন্দ কি নামাচার্য ছিল হরিদাস ঠাকুর কি শ্রীরূপ শ্রী সনাতন শ্রীজীব শ্রী গোপাল ভট্ট শ্রী রঘুনাথ দাস শ্রী রঘুনাথ ভট্ট স্বর্গ স্বামী প্রভু के प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन के श्री वृंदावन मथुरा धाम के श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की श्री पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री गंगा माई जमुना माई की श्री भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी वृंदा देवी की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की हरिनाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की शिल प्रभुपाद गुरु पूजा आरती की आरती शंकर सकल गौर भक्त वृंद की आज की आनंद की निताय गौर सीतानाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल ऑल ग्रेस टू द assembled devotees, all grace to the assembled devotees, all grace to the assembled devotees, all grace to Shri Guru and Gauranga, all grace to Srila Prabhupada.
Black mic. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. We thank His Grace Koladwip Prabhu for leading the Japa class today, followed by Srimad Bhagavatam class, centered around the Dham Mahatya. And we also thank His Grace Govinda Prabhu for leading the Srila Prabhupada's Arati. And we also thank our cooks for today, Rampriya Prabhu and his wife. Any other acknowledgements or announcements? That's any newcomers today? Yeah, we are happy to have you here. Let us chant one Maha Mantra for the newcomers. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So next we will have Prasadam. Prasadam will be served in the parking lot here, just after the Prasadam prayers. Hare Krishna, there is one car here, Toyota Camry, which is parked right here. That's where the prasadam is going to be served. If it belongs to someone, we request that you move the car.
Yeah, we need to actually keep it open. So we'll sing this song. Sharira Vidyajal Jodendriya Tahe Kal Jive Fele Visaya Sagore Karmadhe Jibbayoti Lobhamay Sudurmati Take jeta kothina samsare Krishna varadayamay Koribare jivyajay Saprasadanna dilabhay Shayanamrita pao Shri Shri Radha Krishna Guna gao Preme Rako Shri Chaitanya Nitai Preme Rako Shri Chaitanya Nitai Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Kalpa Punyavatang Rajan Vishwasanaiva Jayate Prasade Sarva Dukkhanam Hanirasya Pajayate Prasanna Chetasi Asu Buddhya Paryavatishtate Toyopa Bhukta Shagandha Vasa Alankara Charchita Chishta Bhojinam Dasastava Mayam Jayemahi Suskampa Yoshitam Vapi Nitam Baradudirdeshata Prapti Matreno Bhoktavyam Natra Kala Vicharana Na Desha Niyamastatra Na Kala Niyamastatha Praptamanyam Drutam Shishwar Bhoktabhyam Harirabrabhed Bhagavad Sri Mahaprasad Ke Jai Nitai Gaur Haribo 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo Nitai Gaur Haribo 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Please honor prasadam.